Good afternoon. It's time to get started. Hello there, Kaylee. You are first, but not really, except that you're late because you're in the wrong time zone, and so is Olraf. I'll tell him that. I'll tell Olraf he's in the wrong time zone with all the pandas in Stockholm, natural habitat of pandas. All right, let's take down the starting soon screen and let's jump right into it. We're basically gonna pick up exactly where we left off last time. The only thing I have done is set up more alarms for launch windows in between streams. Other than that, we are exactly where we left it. We've got a satellite in orbit of Eve, and what we need to do next is get it in the proper orbit. It's in a very large orbit though, so it orbits very slowly, so that's going to take a little bit of time while we're trying to do some other stuff at the same time. Another thing that we tried last week that didn't go so well was launching our new nuclear space forklift, and I had temporarily taken off the batteries so that I could move some parts around, and I forgot to put the batteries back on. Already got a derp counted for that. I've already fixed it so that we won't have that problem this time. And so we're going to launch that thing again. And the only really unfortunate thing is that I thought that we had Val and Bob's Kerbal return coming up, but we don't. And in fact, even this time, which I thought we were about 60 days away, not 360 days, is not actually accurate. So I'm not sure what the deal is with that, if it's user error or just as likely the game has derped me. It sounds like extra derp. No, I already derped it. And so we're actually not going to have Bob and Val with a an encounter with Kerbal. So and we've seen encounters disappear as the math gets calculated and recalculated by the game. So chances are this is the game calculating this wrong, and but it is also possible that it was user error, but I don't know. So we might try to launch something towards them and get them back. So that's what I'm leaning towards right now. But yeah, I've added a whole bunch more launch windows. So we had used up all the ones that we had, so we now have a new one for Moho, for Eve. I didn't put one in for Duna because the ideal one is actually coming up in over 2 years from now in game. And we actually, it's not that different from launching right now, so we can basically do that one whenever we want right now. So, but yeah, then we've got Drez, we've got Jewel, and we've got Elu. So that covers everything. But also coming up, we have the current satellite on the way to Duna. And that's why it's 2 years to the next one, is because we just recently launched to Duna. We've got its correction burn coming up in 36 days, and also a maneuver for our previous Moho probe, where we're going to try again to get an encounter with Moho. We had lost connection with the thing before. And that's coming up the day after. And then another Moho launch window. Those come up rather often, actually. So, but yeah, let's we've got that coming up in 36 days. I think what we should do first is launch for the let's take a look at our E-probe, and then let's launch our nuclear space forklift. So let's go to the tracking station, and we will call up, let's see, we need probes turned back on. I keep turning them off because there's so many of them right now that it's very cluttered. But let's see, Eve Exploration Probe 3, that's not the one. Let's just go zoom out and go directly to Eve because it is already there. Probe 2. It is already there, right? It is. It's a relay? Okay, it's classified as a relay, that's why. Phew! I was like, oh no, did it get deleted by the game? Nope, there it is, right there. Alright, let's take a look at this thing. Let's fly it. Yeah, this is both a relay satellite and a lander. So we need to make our plan for first getting into the designated orbit for our contract, which is marked there on the map, and then for getting the lander down to the surface. And let's see, I'm Just hoping that this thing has some good batteries on it. Let's peek right in here. And yes, these are batteries. Good. So that should be fine. What we need to remember, Pete Venkman is first, but not really. Welcome, Pete. The most important thing to remember here, though, is that there are no engines on this lander at all. So, I mean, we've got this here, so we can use these and then ditch them. So we'll probably be able to do that just fine. But if we're not using these, then we need to make sure that we get it on a re-entry course before we detach it from any sort of propulsion system, whether it's this one or that one. So, well, basically just this one, because this one needs this detached before it will even work. But if we look here at our orbit, that's the target orbit right there. And here is our current orbit. And we are just coming up on our periapsis in 1 hour and 30 minutes. And then apoapsis is 15 days from now. So yeah, we have a 30-day orbital period. Almost a 31-day orbital period. So that one orbit and we will be almost to our next alarm. So we already have, I think... Yeah, what we have here is a maneuver that will change our inclination to match. Peri-axis and apoplexus is what Kaylee wants to call them. Yeah, we'll go with that, I guess. But let's keep tweaking this because it could use a little bit more adjustment. Come on. Let me adjust this, please. Oh, it says we're past the node. What? We can't be past the node. All right, we'll do it over here. Yeah, let's break that. And if we line these up so that they look like lines here on the map, right here. Right here. Add a maneuver. That's in 6 hours. Yeah, we're going a lot faster down here than we will be up here. So that is the ascending node. Well, we need to do this either way. And a little bit of retrograde as well, because otherwise we're just adding energy to the orbit and we'll get an escape instead of what we actually want. And this stage does have 4.5 kilometers per second of delta V, so that is going to be incredibly useful in doing this. Okay. All right, that will get us the proper inclination. All right. All right, that's coming up. It's a 3-minute burn, and it's coming up in just about 6 hours. So let's, let's warp to here. Do-do-do-do. And we're gonna let another 15 or so days pass before we go to our basically at about 20 days until this alarm, we're gonna go ahead and do our next launch, because I'm not sure if we've let 2 weeks pass between launches or not. I think we have, but Steve, welcome. It has indeed been a hot minute. Fear not, I am still alive. I was definitely afraid of that you were still alive, that you were not alive, but now I am reassured. Welcome, Steve. It has been a while. Good to see you here. All right. Let's warp a little bit closer. Okay, we are 5 minutes away from the burn. Let's point the ship towards the maneuver marker on the nav ball. This is our third attempt at completing this contract, by the way. You were afraid Steve was still alive? No, I was afraid Steve was not still alive. Your fears have come true. No, my fears are assuaged because Steve is still alive and is here. Interesting. Many people seem to have that exact fear. Good that I am not alone. All right, so about halfway through the burn is when we want to hit the node. So if we divide that by 2, that is 1 minute and 35 seconds. So I'm actually going to start at about 1 minute and 40 seconds before the node. Give us a little bit of leeway. Crazy coincidence. And definitely has nothing to do with me. I'm sure. All right. Coming up on our burn, we will start our engines in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition. And now we can watch as our orbit both shrinks and changes its inclination. Boom, says Kelly. No. I mean, not all at once. A very controlled and slow boom is what we've got. It's like your launch control. Yes, exactly. There's actually a really cool mod that goes along with one that I've been talking about adding. So the mod that I do want to add very soon is called Raster Prop Monitor. And basically what it does is give the ability to completely overhaul the interiors of the ships and give a ton of interactive and useful instrumentation. It's all about the release rate of the NG, says Pete Venkman. Exactly. All at once, bad. Very slowly and in one direction, good. But yeah, so I want to add that. But there's a mod that you can add to that that gives a fake vehicle internal view for unmanned probes. And that internal view looks like a mission control center. So it's like you're controlling the mission from mission control. It's very cool. It is very CPU intensive though. It really hits the frame rate. But it's so fun that it's basically worth it. Alright, I'm going to speed this up just a little bit. Alright, halfway through the burn, we are at the maneuver node. So we are right at our intersect with the plane that we are aiming for. Kaylee says, when you say very cool, I think you mean very nerdy. Is that not what I said? I think those are basically the same thing. Aren't they not? All right, back to real time. And I'm just very carefully watching this. I'm gonna throttle down for the end here. Get these planes lined right up. And there it is, right there. Look at that. Very cool. So let's just... Oh, we have a problem. We're going retrograde to this orbit. It's not a huge problem because we can change it. But what we'll want to do is at our apoapsis where we're going the slowest, is where we're going to want to change it. In fact, let's change it right there. See how this wants us to be orbiting this way and we are orbiting that way. So let's go here, and that's in 3 days. And we're going to burn retrograde, and that is going to flip our orbit around, and it is going to put us at the right periapsis. And Elric is here and redeeming the first boozinate and the first hydrate. Thank you, Elric. Let's grab this here. I've got my Hopperizing Tropical Double IPA and my Geologic Timescale pint glass. Well, it's not a pint glass because it doesn't hold a pint. There we go. Delicious. And then the hydrate. Keep hangover down at bay. Awesome. Thank you very much, Elric. And again, welcome. Good to see you here. All right, let's point retrograde. The ship will point itself now. Hangover down. How much have we got? It's a joke between me and Setson, basically. I have had none until just now. But basically the cure for hangovers is just stay hydrated, basically. That's it. All right, here we go. Let's burn retrograde. Let's pin that and pin that. Yeah, our descending node is at negative 180 degrees. We want that to be at 0 degrees. 180 degrees means we are burning or we're orbiting the wrong way, but the good news is that we have lots of delta V, so we'll be okay. All right, speed this up a little bit. All right, we've got the right periapsis, but in the wrong direction, so here we go. Gonna flip around this orbit. And there it is. 0 degrees for the inclination. All right, let's keep burning. We're gonna get our periapsis back. We want to burn prograde now. All right, we want a periapsis of 129.5 kilometers. There it is, right there. And that's coming up now in 2 more days. So yeah, we have also very much lowered our orbit, so it is a much quicker orbit now. Where is the planet? There it is. Look at Eve right down there. We can see the North Pole. I think that's north. Yeah, that's north. All right, so let's get rid of some of these pins. There's a lot of information on this screen and I don't need it. Nope, not that. That's okay. All right, so let's warp down there. 2 days, 4 hours, 2 days, 3 hours. Yeah, we're going this way, so we want to do... Let's warp to here. Let's take another look at Eve from much closer. Look at that pink clouds all over the whole thing. And we're going to want to burn retrograde again once we get down to the periapsis. So let's pin that and that. Whoa. There we go. And can I just very carefully unpin just that? There we go. Look at that. Perfect. Satan! Hello there, Satan, and welcome. Good to see you here. How are you doing today? All right, 1 hour and 7 minutes. So let's warp to here. We'll be 5 minutes ahead. And we've got another satellite from a previous attempt where we got the satellite into orbit, but not the orbit we wanted, and our lander was a failure. So the chances of succeeding at this landing also are very slim. It is difficult to survive entry on Eve, and it's even more difficult to get back once you're on the surface of Eve because of the thick atmosphere and extreme gravity. This lander is not even going to have any capability of launching again. We're not even going to try to get back. We do have a contract for that, but we're not going to be doing that for a long time. So we are 3.5 minutes away from our periapsis. Let's just warp a little bit farther. So another rescue. So say, no, there are no Kerbals aboard. This is an unmanned mission. And Katie says, do I get to watch you fail? Only if I do fail. Or you get to watch me succeed. That would be something. Okay, so we're aiming for an apoapsis of 20.5 kilometers. And we almost have it already. So we're 20 seconds away from our periapsis. Let's just give the engines a light nudge. We're at about 40% thrust. And we'll see the blue line disappear as soon as we've... Yep, there it goes. We have achieved the orbit that was requested. Let's see, where is it? We just need to stay in this orbit for a few more seconds. There it is. We've been trying on this contract for a long time. We have positioned a satellite in a tundra orbit around Eve. So I don't know my orbital types terribly well. But a tundra orbit is one of two highly eccentric, very highly inclined orbits that is designed for a lot of coverage of the surface. It's very useful for communication satellites, for example. The other one is a Molniya orbit. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right, but it's invented by a Russian guy, Russian Guyovich. But these are for if you can't quite get something into a geostationary orbit. These, having a few satellites in orbits like this, actually do quite a good job of providing continuous coverage and connections. So let's see, world's first milestones, suborbital spaceflight about Eve. Yeah, because briefly we were in suborbital flight until we fixed our orbit. And position a satellite in a tundra orbit. Yep, that's the contract we just did. We got 500,000 spaceos and 24 sciences. So excellent. How many sciences do we have now? 343.9. We're aiming for 550 before we unlock any more science, and that will let us unlock the ability to drill for minerals and refine them into fuel. So that's going to be a huge deal once that comes online. All right, but the next task here is to attempt the lander. So what we should do, if I just stage, then we lose that propulsion module, and that still has more than 3 kilometers per second of delta V available. We can also change the orbit of this satellite using its own propulsion. So what we're going to do instead, we're going to extend this antenna here. At least for now. And let's see. Yeah, let's leave that antenna retracted just in case this one breaks and we need another one. And hopefully we can still contact orbit from the surface without one of these antennas extended, because we are going to need to retract that for re-entry. But we've got a heat shield right here. And what we need to do is detach right here and then achieve suborbital flight. But I think we want to come all the way back around to do it. So yeah, let's work to our apoapsis, and let's look first at the planet wiki and see where does the atmosphere actually start. And we want Eve. Let's see, space, atmospheric flight. Okay, 90 kilometers is how far out the atmosphere reaches for Eve. So we want to dip just a little bit into that. And the chances of this thing going boom again are pretty high. So let's go up here. Let's actually go all the way around to here, so that it can stay connected to the parent spacecraft as long as possible. All right, now we have 1 hour until we reach periapsis. All right, I'm gonna let this thing reorient itself to retrograde. There we go. And now we're going to manually detach from here. All right, let's decouple. And let's switch to this right here. Okay, and yes, good. We have full probe control. Very good. And just to see, all right. Let's retract this antenna. Okay, we still have full connection both to Kerbal and to that satellite right there. So that is good news. And how quickly are we using up our electric charge? Not very quickly at all. That is good. Let's turn off stability assist. And in fact, can I get in here? Okay, there is our probe core. Let's turn off our reaction wheels. And that is not changing our electric charge usage. All right, let's extend this and see if that changes our electric charge usage. It is not. Okay, interesting. But let's go ahead and hibernate. And let's pin this as well so we don't have to open it up again later. Look, there's Eve right there. Look at that. Okay. This is making me a little bit nervous. All right, but let's actually unhibernate, and we need to point retrograde. And we need to change our periapsis so that it is within the atmosphere of Eve. And if we look on the map view, we'll see the projected trajectory using the drag of Eve's atmosphere. All right, here we go. All right, see this right here, this circle here is where the game predicts that we will be after our pass through Eve's atmosphere. And we can see a little bit of red right here. That is where we are inside and experiencing drag. We don't want the drag to be too intense, but we also don't want to keep going around. All right, that's predicting 2 goes around, and then we will land. All right, I don't want to go any more aggressively than that. Even that is pretty daring. So here's what we're going to do now. Let's go ahead and let's point this way, so that we can detach our propulsion module, but off to the side so that it is not in the way when we experience drag and we don't hit it. And here we go, decouple. All right, and now let's point retrograde again. Okay, it says, how was your ladies' stream yesterday? It wasn't yesterday, it was a week ago, and it went really well. She did the hard parts of my Dandolf costume that you saw the picture of from the yeah, from the orchestra concert. And yeah, it was a whole lot of fun to watch and to troll. And it went very well. Okay, let's turn on hibernation for now. We do have a good strong signal. Yeah, limited probe control until we unhibernate, and then we have full probe control. Okay, good. You must have seen the tweet way late. Yep. No worries. There will be more. She doesn't have a regular schedule yet, but she had a lot of fun and is going to be doing that again. Okay. All right, here we go. And yeah, it just changed the way that looks because we're in time warp, but that is not real. The physics are calculated quite differently when you're in time warp from when you're not, and sometimes that's how we lose our encounter predictions, which is really frustrating. I anticipate it being much more reliable in Kerbal Space Program 2, which will be out in like, what, 4 months for early access. That's exciting. All right, and in hibernation, yep, there it is again. We're back where we were predicting. In hibernation, we did not use any electric charge. But now we do need to use the electric charge to maintain our orientation retrograde. All right. There we go. And we were zoomed way out. There's the big purple planet. Let's get a screenshot. Eve is very pretty, I've got to say. And we're coming up in 7 minutes on our periapsis. Let's time warp a little bit more. We can see the distance increasing between us and our parent probe. And it looks like we're going to come down at night too, but there's not much to do about that. All right, let's come out of time warp. Once again, let's zoom in. There we go. Also, let's change the type to lander. There we go. All right, we're coming down pretty quick. Let's come out of hibernation. We're about 15 kilometers above the farthermost reaches of the atmosphere. The main thing I'm worried about is these landing legs being burned up. Let's do the time warp again. No. And that's a reference, right? Okay. Here we go. Yeah, and we are going fast. I predict a boom. Yep, there went something. Oh, there go our landing legs. And our science. Oh, yep, everything went boom. Yeah, the Rocky Horror, I haven't seen it, but I heard the song. Yep, same. And not even the whole song. Yep. That is the brutality of Eve. Yeah, you want the landing legs. Yep. All right, we can close this though. We're fine. So yeah, we did not land on Eve. There's a nice pretty sunrise, but we did complete a contract. And I think we have some better technology now as well for the next time. Oh, and I can't change to this one in this mode, this game mode. So let's go back to the Space Center and let's do our launch for our what's it? The nuclear space forklift. But yeah, I'm not kidding when I say that Eve is tricky. Eve is probably the most challenging planet in the entire system, both for the landing and especially for getting back. Most of the missions that I've seen for a return trip, a round trip to Eve and back, are absolutely huge. Just insanely huge. So our next mission to Eve is going to be purely for the landing. And we're going to over-engineer the crap out of the thing. It's going to be wild. In fact, we'll probably encapsulate the entire thing in a fairing that has a heat shield, and deploy that fairing after we have gone through the most rigorous part of reentry. Yeah, the atmosphere is thick and the gravity is strong. All right, let's load up our nuclear space forklift. Space forklift 3.0, I think it is. Yes. Oh, and I still haven't turned on the anti-aliasing. Okay, so yeah, we can't highlight parts through other parts right now. Okay, yep, this is the nuclear one, and this time it has batteries, so we can reignite the engine when we get to our apoapsis. Let's just triple check that. Are there batteries in this thing? If I can get where they would be, that would be fantastical. Those are the batteries right there. Yep, Z400 rechargeable battery, and I've got 4 of them. All right. Very good. Okay, let's roll this out to the launch pad. Sorry to disappoint, but I did not forget to do this. Finish off my my coffee there while this loads up. There we go. And we're not recovering the booster, so I didn't need that window down there. Let's open up the flight recorder, though. I like that one. Altitude, acceleration, dynamic pressure. And let's see, do I have a booster cam on this? Yes, I do. Let's watch the launch from here. Throttle up, stability assist is on. Our staging looks good. Okay, we are... Oh, Elric redeemed the boozenate and the hydrate. Here we go. Boozenate. And the hydrate. Thank you, Elric. Much appreciated. All right, here we go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and liftoff. Can't launch without a toast, that's right. Vehicle is pitching downrange. Oh, our flight recorder closed itself. Everything is looking nominal. Vehicle is supersonic, and we're coming up on solid booster cutoff, SRB cutoff, and separation, and that was also our maximum aerodynamic pressure. Okay, this says you would totally have the right voice to be any kind of announcer guy. Nice. SpaceX, are you listening? I'll totally do your launch webcasts. Although I want to control the camera angles because they keep cutting away from the best camera angles at the best moments. Dang it. It's been a while since we've seen an uncut view from the ground all the way through separation and reentry. I'm going to maintain a 30-degree pitch angle here. Coming up on main engine cutoff. We have MECO and stage separation and second engine start. I'm having to fight it to maintain that 30-degree pitch. All right, and we have fairing separation. Yeah, this thing is fighting. But there we go. Stay on course. Yeah, we're lower in the atmosphere than I anticipated, but we're doing all right. Our time to apoapsis is stable, and now it's going up. That's good. Pete Beckman says, Dan does not need that kind of encouragement. Yeah, that's right, because I already know I'm great. And look at that. It's that hook on the end. Our robot arm. ... says Pete Venkman. Yeah, this was more aggressive gravity turn than I should have done, but I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be fine. I'm gonna switch to pro grade. And we can close this now. You're ready to derp ad, says Kaylee. I'm ready to disappoint you. All right, this second engine is cut off. And there we go with that again. Yeah, I gave it a little bit more, more clearance, but apparently it was not enough. And yeah, I think this thing is going to come crashing down. We're not getting thrust because it's being blocked by this. Well, dang it, as Skizzleman says. Dang it. All right, we're going to abort this because this is not going to work. We need a different way to detach it from this. But as you can see, that should not be caught on there. So there are collision box issues here. Because you can see that. There is lots of clearance. And yet, this modular girder segment cannot, it can't get out. Shipwreck usually indulges me if you did derp. Yeah, well, I'm gonna call it a mutual derp. Like, you can see that there is a clear gap here. There's no reason for this to be hanging on, but I'm still gonna call it a derp, just for you. 190. We're closing in on 200 derps here. All right. Let's just watch things get wonky if I turn on physics mode warp. We're getting a little bit of thrust, but not enough. Hey, there it goes. And look at my speed suddenly jump up. Yep. Let's just let this crash. Dirt bear pig. I'm tempted to revert this because that really should have worked. We can see that there was nothing holding that on. And as soon as it missed one physics calculation, it fell off like it's supposed to. But I'm not going to. We're going to go ahead and enjoy the fireworks show. I've got the budget for it. We're fine. And this will also move the clock forward because we're going to let 2 weeks pass. And then we're going to try it again. And I'm going to attach it differently. Look at that. Those kind of weirdnesses happen when you've got physics warp on. There we go. Eat your heart out, shipwreck, says Pete Venkman. Wow, rude. That's hilarious. All right, there we go, littering on the bottom of the sea again. All right, back to the Space Center. Let's let 2 weeks pass. We're going to call that an anomaly on launch. That's there was an anomaly with the upper stage on ascent. It happens with real missions, so we'll let it have happened here. All right, close that. And we need to let, we need to get so that there are 10 days remaining until the ScanSat 6 correction burn. You are making underwater fish habitat, says Pete Vegman. You know it. I'm doing the fish and the coral reefs a favor. That is a radioactive coral reef, because there's radioactive material down there. 4 small nuclear reactors just got sunk to the bottom of the ocean. We're gonna have some funny looking coral. All right, we're down to 17 days. 16. 15. 14. 13. 12. 11. And 10. All right, let's go in and let's do a minor redesign. I already gave it more clearance than it had before, but apparently there's something in the collider box that is still causing an issue. So let's pull that off. And I don't know what it is. Because, yeah, look how much... Is it the lights? Could it be the lights? Spotlight. It's going to be very silly if it's the lights. All right, let's put that back. Let's check the staging. Always check your staging. All right, main engine, boosters, launch clamps, separators. There's that decoupler and the second engine fairing, that decoupler and the 4 atomic motors. Okay, very good. All right, we're gonna save that. And let's do this as, this time, if it does stick on that, we're going to call it a simulation and we're going to revert. I'm going to state it ahead of time. There's our compromise right there. All right, so we're going to roll this out to the launch pad. And we're going to give our third attempt. Totally reasonable, right? All right, but this time let's watch. Let's watch from over here. That's a cool view. Look at that, with the launch tower and everything. Very cool. I like that. Okay, so let's close this and let's throttle up. Stability assist is on. Flight recorder is on, watching altitude, acceleration, and dynamic pressure. There we go. Okay, we are go for launch. Attempt number 3 in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and liftoff. Vehicle is pitching downrange. We're not going to be as aggressive on the gravity turn this time either. Look at that huge fairing. That's just very Kerbal. Hilarious. All right, vehicle is supersonic, and we're coming up on solid booster cutoff. There it is, SRB burnout and separation, and that was also our maximum aerodynamic pressure. Everything is looking nominal. Speaking of announcers for SpaceX, and speaking of nominal, I miss John Innsbrucker. Haven't seen him do a webcast in quite a while. Here's the part where the flat earthers or the flat Kerbiners will say, see, it actually doesn't go to space, it goes downwards. It goes down and over the horizon to crash. All right, next will be main engine cutoff. There's flat curbs. Fun fact, the very first alpha release of Kerbal Space Program had a flat planet. All right, we have MECO, stage separation, and second engine start. Pete Mangman says, see the guy with the glasses that used to explain what's happening on the launches? Yeah. The big guy with the nasally voice. He was fun. He was very cool. All right, and we have fairing separation. We're going to pitch up to 30 degrees. There we go. We're also correcting our inclination just a bit. All right, we have good inclination. Let's set Arcadia Station as our target. That's where we're headed. We're going to pitch down to 20 degrees. Yeah, this is a much more efficient flight profile this time. I didn't derp that up this time. All right, we're watching the apoapsis. It's almost up out of the atmosphere. Yeah, this is our very efficient Wolfhound engine. It's based on, I forget the name of the engine, but the main engine for the Apollo spacecraft. Sounds like the derp was deserved, says Kaylee. Well, I did add the derp. A derp was deserved. I don't think for this necessarily, but we'll see. But you questioned it. Yes, of course, because I'm perfect. The derps are for you guys. They're not really derps. They're just so you guys can feel like, okay, maybe he's not perfect, but he is. All right, here we go. Let's see if this works. Nope, it's still stuck. All right, but will this work? There we go. All right, one quick nudge with the time warp, and it let go. Excellent. Incorrect, says Kaylee. Wow. Hashtag ban Kaylee. All right, let's point prograde. And let's get our apoapsis up to 150 kilometers. Yeah, so it wasn't the lights then, and I'm not sure what that is catching on, but it's got to be something with the colliders, the hitboxes for the engines. All right, there we go. We've got our apoapsis at 150 kilometers. Where are we relative to the station? Let's clear this up a little bit. And there we go. Let's see, Arcadia Station is ahead of us. That's not particularly ideal. Let's see. Can we get a really nice encounter from here? I don't think we can. We're gonna have to come all the way back around, I think. We do have lots of delta V to play with. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to our apoapsis and let's circularize, and then we'll plan our intercept at the station. Let's see, do I have a, I don't think I have an action group for the solar panels, do I? No. So we'll just extend them manually. Excellent. let's warp here. All right, we're going to point prograde automatically here. And then we just need to bring our periapsis up to match. We have a good orbit. Now it's circular. Okay, so right here, let's add a maneuver and just see what it's going to take to get a good approach to the station. All right, it'll take about 350 meters per second, which means it'll take that much to slow down as well, and that will be half of our remaining delta V in total, so we are good to go. So let's go ahead and we're here. Let's get a little bit closer. And then we're going to burn prograde and raise our orbit so that we take longer to come back around so that the station can come catch up to us. We could lower our orbit to catch up to it, but then we'd scrape the atmosphere, and that would be bad news. We don't want to do that. Okay, how close are we? 1 1/4 minutes, so we can go a little bit farther. All right, there we go. Let's pin this and ignite the engines. We can also increase the game speed here a bit. All right, here it comes around. That is the target position when we are back at this spot. All right, let's slow the game down and just nudge it. And welcome 007, first but not really. Good to see you here. On our third try, we have gotten our nuclear space forklift into orbit, and we are planning our approach to Arcadia Station. All right, we're going to come within 2 kilometers here. And that is the mission today. Well, we already had our mission to Eve. We actually achieved the orbit that we had in our contract. And then we tried for a bonus. We did an attempt at a landing, but Eve's atmosphere is dense and unforgiving, and our ship got eaten by the atmosphere, which we kind of expected to happen. It's very difficult to land on Eve. All right, and Elric has redeemed Boozinate and Hydrate. Thank you, Elric, once again. Delicious. Keep this up and I'll have to open another one, dang it. And some refreshing ice water as well. Thank you very much, Elric. Okay, so we need to come back around, and that'll be 1 hour and 7 minutes. So let's, and our relative speed will be 347 meters per second. We definitely want to give ourselves some time to slow down. So let's go to here. Give ourselves about 7 minutes lead time. Go to target mode and point retrograde. And I'm going to apply just a bit of thrust and see what happens to our separation at approach. If we burn right here, it goes up. So we don't want to do that necessarily. But if we go probably over this way, because that's where this is going to drift to, I think. It's still going up, but less so. Yeah. Let's look at the target. We are 140 kilometers away from the station. There it is right there. You can see that tiny speck. I hope you can see that on the stream. I'm not sure if you can or not. But there is a single pixel speck. And 007 says, is that arm a DLC or mod part? DLC parts. So the robot arm And I'm not very good with robotics, so I don't have any fancy controls for it. We're going to articulate each of the joints and pistons manually, but yeah, these are the DLC hinges and pistons. And on the end here, I've got the KLAW, the advanced grabbing unit, and a docking port. So we can use this to pick things up that don't have docking ports and still have a docking port available to attach ourselves to the station. So that is at least the plan. That's the design philosophy here. Whether it works, we'll find out. But yeah, the pistons can extend to give it some more reach. It's got landing legs so that we can land on Minmus. Probably not on the moon, but we can land on Minmus, which is good because we have something we need to pick up from the surface of Minmus. And we can reach this arm out to pick things up. Hopefully. And we got big solar panels as well. All right. We're coming close to the station. We are just over 100 kilometers away. What if I point over here? Let's turn on... Oh, yeah, let's extend our RCS arms. Look at those things. Our traffic lights, I like to call them. All right. Okay, and that's very stable as far as separation at approach. That's going down. If we're over here, it goes down. Okay, that is good to know. Let's point that way and apply light thrust so that we can slow down and also tighten our approach. Oh, now it has stopped. So we have used up what we can gain by burning in that direction. All right, Arcadia Station, 80 kilometers away. Let's just point directly retrograde now. There's the moon rising. Okay, that is increasing our separation. Yeah. From out here, it's quite difficult to predict where we need to burn, which direction we need to point. We are going to be there in just under 4 minutes. Let's see. Okay, it is drifting on the nav ball this way, so I think we need to push that way. Yes, and now our separation at approach is dropping again. Perfect. 2 kilometers. Now it's back up. But our relative speed is only 288 meters per second now, so we are doing okay. I just don't want to overshoot, that's all. We've done that a lot. All right, burning directly retrograde now. We are reducing our separation at closest approach. We're 50 kilometers away. These are hilarious. Every time I see them, I laugh internally. And then externally, like I just did. Which way are we drifting on the nav ball? I need to counter whichever way. And this is the way to point, I guess. Just what you want to hear the pilot say. This is the way to point, I guess. All right, we're just going to slow down. I feel a lot better about that. Now we can time warp and see which way this is drifting on the nav ball. It's drifting that way. All right, course correction. All right, we have to, it changed which one we're looking at, so let's go up here so that we can see the separation. Go down. There we go. All right, now that's the only one that we're looking at. In this game sometimes, I swear. Often, actually. All right, we're going to pass within a kilometer now. That's fantastic. And we're only going 128 meters per second relative to our target. Easy enough to shed when we get there. So we'll time warp. 10 kilometers away. Let's slow down again. All right, we're going 50 meters per second relative to the station. I almost said 50 kilometers per second. That's not accurate. Thank goodness. All right, we're about to come within the physics rendering range, so we'll get the brief flag spike. There it is. All right, station is loaded. Tightening our approach a little bit more and slowing down. We're within 500 meters, 400, 300 meters. That's as close as I'm comfortable with. And unfortunately, we're on the night side, so it's going to be dark. We're going to come up alongside the station and come to a complete relative stop. What is that, Joule? Yeah, look at that green dot there for Joule. And then we're going to need to extend the robot arm so that we can use it for docking. And this is a big test. This will be interesting. All right, let's slow down. We're going 5 meters per second relative to the station. All right, there's our relative stop. We have matched orbit with the station. So, yeah, in the dark, unfortunately, we can see the highlights of the parts, though. So what we need to do now is extend these. So our target angle. So 44 degrees is the build angle. Yeah, good. So if I do this, whoa, set it to 0 degrees, that should straighten it right out. But then if I do reset to build angle, it'll go back to this resting point. So we can reset all of these to build angle, and then we'll have our balanced arm. So that is good to know. And that moves pretty fast. I might want to change the traverse rate to maybe 30. I think that's in degrees per second. Let's see if that is a little bit more gentle. Yeah, that's way more gentle. Okay, I like that. We still get a little bit of momentum there. All right, yeah, we're straightening the arm out. And then this here, we actually need to go, set traverse rate to 30. We actually need to go all the way down to -90. So now that we have the docking port facing forward, so we're going to control from here and activate this camera. So that'll be a whole lot easier for you guys to see, and also this is a better way to dock. So now we need to point ourselves at the target, at the station, and choose a docking port. And I can feel the arm wobbling a bit. It'll steady itself out when we're not rotating. There we go, and we can see the station. And we definitely need to get some fuel before we head to Minmus. Alright, let's use the main engines to start moving towards the station. There we go. Oh yeah, this is wild. Let's get out of that camera view. Let's see, can I auto strut to grandparent part? I think that should be fine. Let's also lock the hinges. All right, you can see the current angle going back and forth. I don't want that current angle to go back and forth. All right, let's lock that. Oh, this is going to be a cracking bait, isn't it? Oh. All right, when this is at 0, okay, we lock? No? All right, yeah, if we turn the damping down, that helps a ton. Okay, that is excellent to know. This one is being a jerk. I'm just gonna spam lock. Okay, I've reduced the oscillation, but not enough. And also I need to be careful because we are approaching the station. But I think that will do. Let's go back to this camera. Oh, this is rough. Okay, let's turn on the RCS jets and slow the heck down here while we troubleshoot this. This is why we're doing this test. Okay. All right. The oscillation is slowly decreasing, but I want to lock it. As soon as it stops. Okay, maybe a touch of time warp. Yes, okay. All right, it's locked. Oh, that's a whole lot better. It's still a little bit wobbly, but not much. So let's go right here. Let's set that docking port as our target. Turn on our RCS thrusters. And let's this is hilarious. I wonder if there's a good way to make this more rigid. I do not know. All right, using just the traffic lights, just our RCS arms. Oh, and it looks like the sun has come out too. That's good news. We're gonna line up with that docking port. How do we get more and more ridiculous in this career? All right, let's slow down. And turn. Yeah, look at it go. It stabilizes in time warp, so that's good. Yeah, I'm using just the maneuvering thrusters right now. and I'm thinking very hard on this. I'm concentrating very hard, so I'm talking a lot less. You're probably all relieved. All right, we're lining up with this docking port, though. There we go. Oh, and of course, we've got a boozinate. Oh, Elric, you so-and-so. All right, here we go. Drinking and driving in space. As we do. And there's the hydrate. Thank you, Elric. Shipwreck would be proud. All right, we are pretty much lined up. Just a little bit of a tweak here, and I'm slowing down as well. Wobbliest docking ever. Docking and drinking, that's right. Not necessarily in that order. Whoa! This is one of the most difficult dockings I have done in recent memory. Okay, slow down. So wobbly. So very wobbly. We got this. We can do it. I can do this. Yeah, we're a little bit offset, but I think we'll be okay. All right. Let's get a good capture here. Just waiting for the magnets to engage. See what this looks like. It's like a mosquito has come. There we go. The mosquito came to bite the station. That's what happened. Look at this. That's the best thing I ever saw. Got a screenshot. But look at that. We got it up to the station. I can't believe it. I can a little bit believe it. And we got Spatrick 1812. Did I say that right? Or is it S Patrick or Spatrick? Saying W Pooch, I think means well played, right? If so, thank you. But yeah, look at that. Our little contraption here worked fantastically, though a little bit wobbly, and it is detachable via this docking port. So this is an optional attachment here, and if we want to, yes, says Spatrick, very cool. Welcome. And if we want to iterate on this design, we don't have to launch this entire thing again. We can just bring a new robot arm up. So I can keep trying to make improvements on this. In the meantime, what we need to do now is see if we can refuel via this thing. I hope so. We better be able to. Dang it. So liquid fuel. We have a bunch in here. That one is empty now. This one has fuel in it though. So Mark III liquid fuel fuselage here. Let's transfer out. Let's see. Okay, good. Yes, we are refueling this. And this is a mod. This is the TAC Fuel Balancer mod. It saves a whole lot of really frustrating alt-clicking of dozens of fuel tanks. Fantastic quality of life mod. Let's move that so we can watch it. Fuel up. All right, so this is empty now. Let's lock it. And so now let's, that one's locked already. This one, locked for liquid fuel. We will need to send more fuel up here very soon. So this one though, this one has liquid fuel in it. That's Kerbal S3 7200. That one right there, very good. Just fuel, no oxidizer. Yes, because we have atomic rocket motors on here. So rather than mixing fuel and oxidizer and adding energy to ignite them, this simply takes liquid fuel and moves it across a nuclear reactor, and that heats it up to the point that we can get thrust. So it is very low thrust, but very high efficiency. Specific impulse of 800, whereas the other ones are all in the 300 to 350 range. And Silver Sky says, hello, welcome Silver Sky, good to see you here. But yeah, we need to transfer out. And that is a stock part too. And it's based on some real world designs that have never flown, but were worked on during the Apollo program. But yeah, so all we need is liquid fuel. So we, twice we get added efficiency out of this. Once because we simply get a higher specific impulse by quite a lot. And also because we don't have to carry oxidizer. So the entire fuel mass is propellant. And this is full, but this is still fueling other tanks. We'll let it go. Let's see, what is it fueling? Hopefully not those. Okay, good. And not that. We want to keep those locked so that we can keep track of where our fuel is going. And yep, all of that liquid fuel is gone now. So we can lock that. And we probably will never need this oxidizer, so we can probably get rid of this entire assembly. What about the ADTP23? If I transfer out, can we empty that too? Because if we can take this entire assembly off and deorbit it, that would be excellent. But not yet. We still have some liquid fuel there. Blow it up, says Kaylee. Oh, we will. We will blow it up. Eventually. Soon. Arson. Yes. Yeah. We're playing a modded hard space shipbreaker right here. That's what this is. Okay, but let's take this thing that looks like a mosquito sucking the station dry. Kind of true, considering it just ate up a whole bunch of fuel. Let's take this thing to Minmus now. We're still 10 days away from our Duna satellite correction burn, so we're probably going to take this to... Oh, we could juggle these missions. Let's juggle the missions. Let's do them both at the same time. But we are probably going to be doing this correction burn before we arrive at Minmus. But here we go. Let's undock. And let's go to this ship here. Let's back off a little bit. Probably should have topped off the monopropellant, but we're doing okay. But yeah, if I hover over these, we can see... There we go. Just how many fuel tanks I would have to worry about if we were going to be manually transferring the fuel over. So this mod, this TAC Fuel Balancer, is an absolute necessity in my opinion. Alright, we've got some distance. Let's now reset these to build angle. Oh, they're locked. Let's unlock and reset to build angle. There we go, and this will balance the thing. Although we've got our oscillations again. Let's see. Current angle. Okay, now let's lock them again. Lock. Lock. Alright, they've stopped wobbling too. That's good. And lock. Alright, and now our thrust torque is very low. About as low as it will be for this ship. Now we need to send it. We've got 2.4 kilometers per second of delta V. I wish it were more for what we're doing, but that should be fine. So now our next test of this vehicle. Can we land on Minmus, pick up a ship that we need to return to Kerbal, and bring it home successfully? And the other trick there is that we also need to attach something that will safely return it to the surface of Kerbal. But every time we go into EVA construction mode, everything wobbles and explodes because Kerbal. So we might want to take it outside of the physics range of 2.25 kilometers before doing that. Oh, awesome! I can buy viewers, followers, and primes? That is fantastic. Also, I don't have a shipwreck to do this. So let's see. How can I do this? I'm going to buy the... Oh, whoops. Dang it. I banned them. I was trying to buy the viewers. Oh, well. Oh, well. That's what happens. Misclick. Let's send this thing to Minmus. So Celestial Bodies, Minmus. Now I know what happens with Shipwreck. Every time he tries to buy viewers, it just bans them. Whoopsie. So there's Minmus, and by the time we get there, Minmus will be probably about here. So if we... Let's just set a maneuver at the ascending node. And plan our maneuver. Get out of there. Yeah, the little teasers they've shown us of Kerbal Space Program 2 with the user interface look very cool and very promising. I am excited. Alright, I'm very close. Let's move it a little bit later. And a little bit later. In fact, let's use this. And actually, I think I want it to be earlier, believe it or not. There we go. And yeah, we will get there in 13 days. Let's see, Minmus encounter 12 days and 5 hours. So we will get there right after we do the ScanSat 6 Duna correction burn. So let's do this burn. It's coming up in 27 minutes. It's a 1 minute and 46 second burn. This is very cool. It's a Silver Sky, and I understand nothing. No worries. Don't worry if you want to ask any questions at all. I will definitely do my best to answer them. I barely understand what I'm doing, so... Patrick says, how hard can it be to fly a spacecraft drunk? I'm not sure, since I have not done that. I am very far from drunk. But I got close on my birthday stream back in August. Maybe we'll do another special event stream in the near future where I do something like that. That could be fun. I mean, no streetlights, that's right. Well, unless you count our maneuvering thruster arms, because they look like streetlights. I call these the traffic lights. But they're very effective, so that's the thing. Alright, so let's time warp around to our maneuver. And yeah, 1 minute and 46 seconds of burn time. So we want to... We'll definitely be accelerating the game a bit. Drunken Dan streaming? Maybe. Could be fun. I am trying to think of a clever way to do a trombone champ stream. I still haven't bought or played that game yet. But, boo! Booze Night has a cooldown. That's right. Yes, it does. Yep. But that could be a fun one to do inebriated. But I kind of want to maybe see if there's a good way that I can manage to mix in some real trombone playing with Trombone Champ, because that would be funny. And I suspect that the trombone itself is easier to play than Trombone Champ from what I've seen of that game. Pete Vangman says, Dan says he knows almost nothing about what he's doing, but compared to Dan, I'm just banging rocks together and throwing science at the wall to see what sticks. Hello there, Cave Johnson. We're just throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks at this point, aren't we? Yes. I think playing a trombone is inherently funny, says Kaylee. Wow, very rude. Alright, we're coming up to the maneuver node in 4 minutes. So we are pointed towards the maneuver node. So basically what we're going to do here is burn prograde. Prograde is the direction we are currently moving. But also, wow, you guys are just ganging up on me. Wow, rude. So the direction we are orbiting is prograde. The reverse of the direction we're orbiting is retrograde. So if we go prograde, then we speed our craft up, which means that the opposite end of the orbit will get raised. So currently that is our periapsis, which is the lowest point of the orbit. It will soon become our apoapsis, which is the highest point of the orbit. We're going to raise it to right here, so that by the time we actually travel this far, this moon, Minmus, will have moved to here, which means that we will encounter it. So that is the simple explanation of what we are trying to do right now. I'm going to go ahead and time warp just a little bit. Get closer to the maneuver node. About 1 minute away from it. There we go. All right, and we're going to start our engines right now. All right, we're going full thrust with 4 of our atomic rocket motors. Silver Sky says, this is good music. This is the default soundtrack for the game. I'm not sure if this one was or not. I think this was written by Kevin MacLeod. So the main theme song and a couple of the tracks were written by the developers of the game, but then most of the music in the game is royalty-free music from Kevin MacLeod. And it's really good. That guy's a champion. And I'm sure that they actually officially licensed it, since they're using it commercially for an actual product. But yeah, they chose very well. Okay, we are halfway through our burn. We can see our speed increasing right here. And the faster we go, the more leverage we'll have. And so we'll watch this apoapsis move very quickly. And Silver Sky sniped the hydrate and the buzinate from Elric. All right, I'll do them in that order. Thank you, Silver Sky. Refreshing ice water to keep hangover Dan at bay. And the buzinate. And actually, I'll probably disable the buzinate after finishing this booza haul, because I do have to go somewhere after the stream. So having 2, which would probably be fine, better play it safe than sorry. Okay, that went wild because it was predicting an encounter with the moon, which would have thrown our course wildly off. All right, let's cut the engine and then very gently low thrust for precision at the end here. No, play it sorry. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Everyone with my best interest in mind. I see how it is. All right, there it is. We have an encounter with Minmus. There we go. I'm gonna burn just a little bit more to solidify that encounter, because it's likely that it will change the math as we warp to there. It keeps doing that to us. So yeah, when we, let's see, 13 days from now, 12 days and 5 hours from now exactly, we will be in Minmus's sphere of influence, which is where the gravity of Minmus will be affecting us more than the gravity of Kerbal. And so in reality, both would be affecting us at all times, but in different amounts. That is a lot to calculate. There's a mod that will do that, and it gets insanely complicated doing these orbital maneuvers. But Kerbal Space Program keeps it simple and just does 2-body physics. So basically, body number 1 is whatever we're orbiting. So right now, Kerbal, and body number 2 is our current spaceship. So those are the only 2 that it calculates at any one time. And it is close enough to give us a very cool simulation of space travel. But before we get there, we are going to need to attend to ScanSat 6. So let's set an alarm so that we don't forget to come back to this before we need to burn the engines again. So let's create an alarm for Sphere of Influence change, SOI change, and it is Space Forklift 3 Minmus Encounter. And let's give ourselves 1 hour of advance notice and add the alarm. Meanwhile, let's go to ScanSat 6, which is headed towards Duna, and we need to make a course correction. So let's switch to that ship. And we're sending this to Duna to do some resource scans of the surface. as well as other mapping. So these are modded parts. All of these are modded parts. And so we've got various antennas for taking imagery of the surface of any planet. So let's take a look at the map. Zoom out. Okay, so, and actually, all right, we gave ourselves quite a margin, so we actually need to wait. Oh no, we didn't. So yeah, that's right, we're not there yet. Let's warp to the next alarm. We gave ourselves 1 day of advance notice, not 10. I was gonna say, that's a little bit odd. And oh wow, we're gonna have the, we're gonna have 2 maneuvers before we see our space forklift again. All right, we gave ourselves 1 hour of notice. Perfect. And this is a big long burn. This is 8 minutes and 40 seconds. So we're definitely going to be doing some time warp while we do this. Silver Sky says, my brain decided to go on a tangent, and now all I can think of is arson via combustible lemons. I'm the guy who's going to burn your house down with the lemons. That's a good tangent. So what we need to do is, this maneuver is, let's see, maneuver mode. Mode, display staging. There it is. Okay, so this maneuver has 2 components. It has 190 meters per second of prograde and nearly 1 kilometer per second of anti-radial, so radial in. So basically what that means is we are burning a little bit that way, forward, and a little bit inwards towards the sun. And that is enough that it will change our trajectory so we get an encounter with Duna in 228 days. So let's warp a little bit closer to the maneuver node. I'm going to manually time warp this. Very carefully so that we don't pass it. Coming up in 50 minutes. 40 minutes. And 30 minutes. We're going to start our burn at 5 minutes until the node. A little bit less than that, actually, but... Alright, 10 minutes. Alright, we're just under 7 minutes to the node. We're going to point our spacecraft towards the maneuver marker on our nav ball. Pink marker is our target, which is Duna, so if we're pointed towards that, we're looking directly at Duna. The yellow one there is prograde. The blue one here is our maneuver, and this one is radial in. So we can see right here, we are just a little bit, we're between radial in and prograde, but we're closer to radial in, so that is the main component of this maneuver. Right, time warping a little bit more. All right, our maneuver is in 5 minutes. Let's start it at 4 minutes and 30 seconds to the maneuver node. That'll put us about straddling it. All right, we're going to ignite the engines in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition. And if I zoom out, we can see what's happening to our... This blue line here, this teal line, is our current orbit, and our target's orbit is this highlighted green line. This dotted brown line is where we're going to end up, this dotted blue and brown line. So let's go ahead and speed the game up. We can go up to 4 times speed while still calculating physics. And speaking of the music, you might recognize this as Tinfoil Chef's intro music. He also used to play this game back when he was around and making YouTube videos, as well as being a hermit. Alright, let's go ahead and go all the way to 4 times speed. Didn't recognize that, but it's very cool. Yes, it is. right, things are looking good. And yeah, we can see very subtly this is changing. We're very zoomed out, so it's hard to see the changes in real time, but they are there. And we're only going to have to watch this for 2 minutes instead of 8.5 minutes. This is something they're addressing in Kerbal Space Program 2 as well, because if we're going to go for interstellar travel, where we're going to need to be burning high-efficiency engines for hours or days at a time, we don't really want to have to turn on our engines and then go outside and do something like mow the lawn or whatever, and then come back in and see, okay, how far into the burn are we, or, you know, burn overnight. So they're adjusting things that full time work can happen while under thrust, which is very cool. I'm excited for that. Okay. Carefully adjusting our course to follow the maneuver marker. And we're coming up on the end of the burn. So I'm going to slow down to real time. $70 meters per second left of this burn. 60. 50. And 40. 30. And 20. All right, let's throttle down for the last little bit here. There we go. That is our burn. Let's close that, and we do indeed have an encounter with Duna. Silver Sky says, had to go AFK. What's going on right now? We just did our correction burn for our ScanSat that is headed to Duna. Let's create another alarm for it then, which is our sphere of influence change for when we enter Duna's sphere of influence. So we want to call this ScanSat 6 Duna encounter, and we want 1 day of advance notice here. So that is going to be in 224 days. So that will be a future stream that we will arrive at Duna. Okay, let's go back. Well, no, let's not go back to that yet. Let's go to our MOHO probe number 3. Let's do that maneuver. So this is one that we have flown by MOHO before, but we were not able to get it to slow down enough to enter orbit. It also has a lander, so yeah, this is an attempt to land on MOHO. I don't know if it'll make it. We have barely any Delta V left. We actually might just let it crash. We just might crash it into Kaylee asked, 224 days from now, Streewam. That's some mobile typing there, I think. Yeah, sorry, okay. I think you're asking like real life days or in-game days. That's in-game days. So it won't be 224 real life days from now. That'll probably be just 2 or 3 weeks from now. And Silver Sky asks, so what's the end goal of this game? It's basically whatever you want it to be. Like technically it's when you've unlocked the whole tech tree, which we're close to doing. We have a lot of expensive technologies left though, but my end goal is to make a very large spaceship, have fuel refineries on any of the planets and moons that it makes sense to put them on. And have a very large spaceship, put all of the Kerbals that we have aboard, and do a grand tour of the entire solar system. And I'm going to install some mods that will let us do a lot of the flying from inside the cockpit. So that is my end goal. All right, this thing, let's take a look at our maneuver node coming up in 1 day. So this one I did give a day of advance, well no, 1 hour of advance notice, but we are 1 day from the alarm. Let's go ahead and warp to the next alarm. Yeah, I think it'll be fun. We'll send people down to, oh yeah, we're just gonna have to crash this thing. I don't think we're gonna get an orbit. We'll find out. We'll send people down to take group photos on each of the planets too. That'll be fun. All right, delete and close. And zoom out. Okay, there's our maneuver node. And yeah, it's 1.2 kilometers per second change in velocity there. That's a lot of our remaining delta V. So, but it will get us an encounter with Moho, so that is not nothing. Warp closer. Evil Kaylee will be aboard. That's true, Kaylee. Maybe we'll leave Kefri Bezos behind, though. He's still doing his community service, cleaning up the Kessler syndrome in our orbit, in our Kerbal sphere of influence. All right. So this is a 3-minute burn. Let's start it at about 1 minute and 40 seconds until the node. So let's time warp a little bit more. All right, ignition in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition. One single atomic motor here. And we can follow the maneuver marker there. There we go. And speed up the game to double time. And triple time. Quadruple time, why not? All the way. All right, we're halfway through this maneuver. Looking good. Coming up on the end of the maneuver, let's go back to real time in the map view. All right, we got 50 meters per second to go. Let's throttle down for precision. All right, that is our maneuver, and we do indeed have an encounter with Moho. Let's focus the map on Moho. Oh. There we go. And let's see how good an encounter this is. Okay, so there's a periapsis. It's pretty low. So if we added a maneuver here, we'll get there in 45 days. That's not too far. What will it take? Way more than we have to get an encounter. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna crash. We're gonna crash this thing into Moho to get rid of it. So there's our periapsis. All right, if we go back here, add a maneuver. Let's see where we need to burn. I think probably radial in to lower this periapsis. Maybe. Okay, let's pin that. And let's go to this tool right here, turn the precision as fine as it goes, and let's see which way we need to burn to lower that number. So radial out raises it, radial in lowers it. See how far radial in can lower it. Oh, that's looking good. Will this do it all the way? I think it will. Nope, not quite. So close. All right, back to fine precision, and let's see. What about retrograde? That raises it. Prograde is lowering it, though. Nope, not very much. All right, what if we change our inclination? Anti-normal. That's doing it. All right, that will get us a collision. Silver Sky says, how many hours do you have in this game? I wish I could say it was like 50 or 100 to get me this to this level, but no, it's like 3,000 or 4,000 of a lot of derping around. I've played this game a lot for the past 10 years. The only game I played more than this is Minecraft. Alright, so if we point this way, and we don't need to wait for this maneuver node, we can do this maneuver now. I was just getting a general idea of which way to point, and it is right here. And just a tiny nudge in this direction will get us an impact. And there it is. We're going to crash into the surface of Moho in about 45 days. I agree. Minecraft is a good game to have many hours in, and this one is very cool. All right, yeah, this is... Yeah, we're going to crash really hard into the surface there. Let's get... Oh, no. Okay, we don't have maneuvering thrusters. Let's turn around and correct that. I was hoping we could get a more direct hit that way, but that's not what's happening here. I'm crashing it because we do not have nearly enough delta V, which is our ability to change our velocity, to get an orbit. This has already flown past Moho once, and we weren't able to slow down in time. So instead, so that this doesn't keep orbiting forever, so that we reduce the amount of space junk, which also increases the performance of the game, so it has less to compute, we're going to crash it into the surface of Moho and be rid of it. And there's a hydrate from Silver Sky. Thank you, Silver Sky. Refreshing. So let's add a maneuver, or add an alarm rather. And this is, what's our current craft called? Moho Research Expedition 3, MRE 3. Let's see, sphere of influence change. Yes. Moho Probe 3. Moho Crash. And we're going to give ourselves an hour of advance notice before getting into Moho's sphere of influence. And then we're going to enjoy a big boom, probably in the next stream. We will see. That's going to come one day after our next Moho launch. Alright, now we need to go back to Space Forklift 3. And we will get to Minmus and see if we can successfully land it. There we go. Also, we can delete this alarm since we don't need it anymore. Let's pin our fuel tab. There we go. Yeah, I'm wary of our fuel usage, but as this is an unmanned craft, we have a lot of leeway, and this is a test mission. So we are putting this thing through its paces, testing it to its limits. All right, let's time warp. And yeah, it changed our calculations and took away our encounter. There, good, it came back. Thank goodness. Sometimes it doesn't. It came back once, it should come back again this time. Fingers are crossed. But here comes Minmus, and we can see all the stuff that is orbiting and landed on it. And nope, we don't have... Oh, this game, I swear. Alright, how do I get this encounter back? Where do I need to burn? I changed the orbital parameters here. Okay, there we go. That way? No. About that way? It does this to me a lot, and it drives me insane. Okay, so... I do this, maybe? There we go. That gets an encounter. So let's burn that direction. A little bit normal, which is this way, perpendicular to our orbital plane, and a little bit radial out. Yeah, that's just the game with some imprecise math there. Basically, a rounding error does that. And oh man, I'm losing my internet signal a bit. Dropping a lot of network frames. That's no good. How does the stream look on you guys' end? I'm losing about 2% of network frames right now. Network flames? It's probably because my son-in-law is home again, or my stepson is home again, not son-in-law, geez, and is on the internet, so that does tend to do it. There are many stars, yes there are. Alright, we're gonna do the time warp that still keeps calculating physics, that way we don't lose that encounter again. There we go. Alright, now we are in Minmus' sphere of influence, and it can't take that away from us this time. So let's go to our periapsis, which is our lowest point. Let's warp there. That's 2.5 hours away. Yeah, there is a lot of buffering going on. That is frustrating. Oh well, not much I can do about it right now. Yeah, it is indeed buffering. Yeah, my bitrate has dropped by about half. That is garbaggio. Might have to see what I can do about internet usage during stream times. But yeah, every other week, stepkids are home, so the internet usage in the house doubles, and that seems to be when I have the troubles with my bitrate, and it is all over the freaking place. Down to 2 kilobits per second, up to 7, down to 2, up to 4. That is rough. Alright, so here we go. We have an orbit, and we have 1.2 kilometers per second of delta V remaining. That is not a lot. So I'm not sure that this thing is going to be up to this particular task. And we have a first-time chat from Mega Init. I'm not sure if that is how I'm supposed to say that or not. Saying hello. You have returned from your journey into the reloading page to see if that helps. It is not on your end, though. That's the problem. It's on my end, and it just started. So, yeah, no, the problem is not on your... Well, no, it's definitely you guys' problem. My stream is perfect. Absolutely perfect. Nope. It's my bitrate. It's down to about half. Boo. Well, we'll see what happens. So, let's see. Let's go to our target selector And we want ships. We want, I think it's Google's scrap. Google Kerman was named by our friend Twiglet. We rescued the Kerbal. We still need to pick up the scrap. I know, right? I should kick him off. He's probably in the middle of like a game tournament or something. He's got some competitive games. I don't want to interrupt that. Let's see. We're coming up on the descending node in 2 days. But yeah, I might have to do some investigating and see if we can come up with a plan and a compromise. So, that was smooth, says Steve. What was smooth? I don't know what was smooth. But let's go to our descending node, and we need to change our inclination. Let's make sure this really is the right one. Yes. Recover Google's scrap. Actually, no, Google's scrap is in orbit. We need the Warden's scrap. That's also a Twiglet redeem, but let's go... Where is it? It's not a lander. Is it classified as debris? No. It's not a probe. Fork 5, Space Forklift 2. Interesting. So, the Warden's scrap. Set as target. Is it a lander? Is it classified as a lander? Oh yeah, there it is right there. It's classified as a lander. He was 150% Danbury Pig, could never have internet issues. That's right. Yes, that. Kaylee is actually right. I am 100%. No. Impossible. Silver Sky is right. You are wrong, Kaylee. I'm half Dan, half bear, and half pig. Yes, exactly. Let's see. All right, let's take a look. There it is right there. And we need to find a way to land right on top of it. So basically we need to lower our orbit by quite a lot. Fortunately, Minmus has a very low gravity. That's the only thing that's giving me any hope in this mission. All right, and let's warp 2 days to our periapsis. And this spike right here is the scanning range of our scanner satellite that is mapping Minmus. In fact, we can, in a minute, take a look at that map, see how it's doing. Yeah, I might indeed be getting your messages a bit late. In fact, probably what's happening is with the buffering is that you're seeing things with quite a bit of stream delay now. And so when I see your messages, yeah. Yep, it's just the way it is right now, unfortunately. Okay. Let's time warp a little bit. Let's actually set Minmus as our target, or our focus for the camera. There we go. Now Minmus will be that. No, it's because it's because of the bitrate on my end that you are getting stream delay. So the signal is getting to you very late, which makes the messages get to me very late. But yes, it's your fault.
It's Kaylee's fault. We'll blame Kaylee. Hashtag blame Kaylee.
Okay. So we want our space forklift to come around. And I kind of want this to happen during the daytime, so I think we're going to let it do another orbit. While the Warden scrap, that right there is our target, comes around to the day side. So this next orbit, we're going to plan a maneuver that will get us a landing spot as close as possible. So here we go. And this is going to be a challenging landing anyway. But we need to point not radial in. We need to point anti-normal, so basically towards the south. Just a little late. Okay. So anti-normal and a little bit retrograde. And we're going to try to get an impact point very close to that. And then we're going to slow down so that it is a gentle landing and not a crash. There we go. That's looking pretty good. Service guy says, I'm going to reload my page again and hope I don't miss anything. I have a chance of understanding. Yeah, the best you'll get with that is maybe catching up a little bit on the buffer, but it's not going to improve the bitrate on my end. It's going in between 1500 kilobits per second and like 5000 kilobits per second. It's garbaggio, and I am not pleased. Okay. So we're almost certainly going to have to make more adjustments as we get closer to the surface because, yeah, Warden's scrap is still moving. Not on the surface, but the point it's where it is on the surface is moving. But it looks like I've aimed pretty well. We're going to fly very nearly over the top of it. All right. Let's pull up the landing info page because this gives us a better estimate for our suicide burn. And I need to point a little bit more anti-normal. And yeah, this scanning cone is in our way, but there's not much I can do about that. All right, adjust our course a little bit. But yeah, this needs to be a very precise landing, so that's problematical. All right, let's extend our landing gear. There's our target right there. You do not claim responsibility, Pete Venkman. Eesh. Yeah, I'm skipping so many frames. Network dropped frames. That's unfortunate. I've only missed one frame due to rendering lag. So that problem does seem to be fixed. Yes, you do, so Silver Sky. Well, he doesn't claim responsibility. That doesn't mean it's not his fault. Just means he's avoiding responsibility. Let's see. I'm gonna send a text to my wife, see if she is aware of any issues.
Internet is struggling. Frowny face. That's what I'm sending. All. You might not know it, but you do claim responsibility. Okay. That's what you're saying to Pete Venkman. I like it. Okay. Let's go to surface mode so that we can come to a complete stop relative to the surface. Over top of the lander. And this countdown right here is the point of no return for slowing down in time for a safe landing. That's why they call it a suicide burn. All right. Okay, we should be coming down directly over top of it now, I think. Hopefully so. Back to target mode. And full concentration mode for Dan Bear Pig. Alright, 1 minute and 40 seconds for the suicide burn counter. Let's see, how are our electric charge looking? Okay, let's retract our solar panels. These cannot be retracted. That is good to know. Okay, so we better not break them. Otherwise, we'll have to send an engineer out with some repair kits to fix them. And no, I'm not going to speed up the game right now. This is not an ideal landing spot, but we don't get to choose our landing spot now. Let's adjust our course a little bit so that we are landing basically right on top with our, you know, radioactive exhaust plume. And we don't have radar info on the surface yet, so we don't know the slope. Coming down pretty close. Get a screenshot. This is pretty cool. Okay. All right. Oh, look at that. Whoa, 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 whoa. We're sliding, though. Sliding. Oh, no. No. I don't want to slide. That's not good. It was such a good landing, too. Okay, we might still be able to reach it. Oh, but we're sliding. I don't want to slide. Let's see. Can I push up the hill? Oh, there we go. Sliding back up the hill. Okay, this is a new ridiculousness that I've never done before. All right, a little bit farther. Well, I hope the VOD is at least relatively clean. Okay, is it gonna slide anymore? Are we stable? We are moving just a little bit. Okay. Service guy says, I've been informed that I'm killing my father. Uh-oh, dare I ask? Alright, let's rotate this thing. Let's turn to fine control. There we go. Oof. Oh, this is rough and a half. Okay, but we need to unlock this and extend it. All right, and unlock this and extend. Unlock this and extend. Unlock this and extend. Oh my gosh, this test. Let's turn down the traverse rate by a lot. There we go, that's a lot smoother. Okay, also, we need to quick save because last time we tried to pick up something from the surface, the Kraken attacked, and we got, everything exploded. And so we're not going to be putting up with that again. Alright, traverse rate down to 5 degrees per second. I think that's what that is. There we go. Whoa. All right, that is right on target. Gently floats down in a giant fiery crash. Yeah, well, that's what we're hoping to avoid, but, you know, it could happen. All right, and this here, let's also reduce the traverse rate by quite a bit and extend this piston all the way. Okay, we've mostly reduced our sliding. Mostly. All right, let's go ahead and arm this. Yeah, point it like that.
Okay, we're pointed right at it. Let's get a screenshot because this is hilarious. All right. This here, traverse rate down to 0.2. And extend it. I've seen some people do some crazy stuff with some mods that allow controlling the robotics with like game controllers and stuff, but I am not that clever. Okay, this is nerve-wracking. All right, this one needs to be extended now. And we're sliding again a little bit more. Let's extend this piston. Skillers guys says, apparently you do dare ask, but he sent a message. The cat sent a message via him, and I responded to the sarcasm. Oh. Yep. And yes, I do dare ask. Okay. Oh, we are almost there. It's like doing those arcade games with the claw. Okay, and now I think if we rotate this, oh, we have missed because we have slid. So we're going to push the craft uphill just a little bit. There we go. And now, and is it going to bounce? Is it even going to grab it? Yes! We did it! And the Kraken did not attack either. Okay, this is awesome. One of the coolest things I've accomplished in Kerbal Space Program. All right. So now, let's see. Let's reset this to build angle. Let's reset this first, this piston. And pick it up. Oh, there's a hydrate. Okay, yes, the concentration was real. Thank you, Silver Sky. And it does seem that my connection has mostly stabilized as well, so that's good. All right, reset to build angle. Reset to build angle. Now the thing I'm worried about is that we only have 769 meters per second of delta V remaining. And we can see our thrust torque dropping as our center of gravity is correcting itself as we move these arms. Okay, let's whoa. Let's launch. Okay, this is bad, but we've got it. We've got control. No, we don't. We don't have any sort of control. Wow, we just need to get to orbit. Just need to get to orbit. Whoa! Torque is mad here. Point prograde. Point prograde. Just point prograde. If we can get to orbit, we can send fuel. Wow, wow. Okay. This is incredibly difficult to control. All right, I'm using the maneuvering thrusters a bit. Let's retract our landing gear. Holy cow. Okay. Well, we can get to orbit, so that is the important part, and we can send fuel. You spin me right tracks the Silver Sky. Let's turn off the boost cam too. Wow. Okay. All right, let's see if we can fix the torque. We have 6.5 minutes before we hit our apoapsis. So let's just set everything to 0. Let's straighten the whole robot arm out. Oh, that is still at a high traverse rate. That's a problem. Let's switch that. There we go. And this, let's turn it around so that our docking port is forward again. Yeah, there's definitely some lag delay, isn't there? Or stream delay. All right, and control from here. There we go. Let's see. Do I dare free pivot? We're clipping in that, and that makes me anxious. Pete Venkman asks, was that a Kraken attack or a balance issue? It was a balance issue. Yeah, well, basically, Silver Sky, you are correct. That is accurate. Let's see. Let's do this then. Let's target angle 85 degrees. Target angle -5 degrees. All right, that way it's a little bit offset, but it's still pointing straight forward, so that's good. Okay, current angle, let's lock it. There we go. As long as the current angle is 0, let's lock it. -5, lock, and lock. I said lock. It won't lock. There we go. Good, those are all locked. These don't need to be locked. Those are fine. Okay. With less than 400 meters per second remaining, we can definitely get into an orbit at least. So we certainly cannot get back to the station like this. But so far, I mean, we're intact, so that's a thing. We didn't break anything. We did pick up with our robot arm this right there. We definitely need grippier landing legs and a wider base if we're to do this. The main purpose of this thing is not going to be to land and pick things up like this. This is an extreme test. Mostly, we just want this to be able to effectively be our space tug and move things around, especially around the space station. So let's get to orbit. Let's warp to our apoapsis. And just a gentle burn. There we go. Slowly increase thrust. Let's get a maybe 150 kilometer orbit. There we go. Let's warp to this new apoapsis. This is about as experimental as I have ever gotten this craft with this robot arm, but the robot arm did the job, so it was super wonky. I will definitely be learning from this and doing a better one in the future. but just knowing that that actually worked is a big deal. All right, we're circularizing the orbit. There we go. We have a 150 kilometer orbit. It's highly inclined. What will it take to make this equatorial? And do we even care? I think we do. So, yeah, let's just burn, we're going this way, so let's burn normal, so that way. Or would that be anti-normal from here? I think. Dan's saying words, the Silver Sky. I don't know what they mean, but they're definitely words that mean something. Well, this circle right here is on our orbital plane. So if I look right here so that it looks like a line, we can see the orbital plane. And since we're moving this way, if we go perpendicular, that way is called normal, and that way is called anti-normal. So I think it is anti-normal that I need to point. And that pink marker on the nav ball is the normal marker, and the other one we're about to point at is anti-normal. And burning in these directions changes our orbital plane, our inclination. So, yep, and that's going in the direction I was expecting. It's also going to change our apoapsis and periapsis, our highest and lowest points, but that is okay. This is going to give us a retrograde orbit. Dang it. I don't want that, but that's okay. Dan saw my message about words, then proceeded to say more words. Unbelievable. It's what I do. And let's see, since my bitrate has stabilized, I'm going to refresh the panel in OBS that is my preview of the stream and see where we're at there. Okay, that looks better. Looks a lot better. It's definitely caught up. Okay, good. Oh, wow. And yeah, we have 200 meters per second left of delta V. So we can change our velocity by 200 meters per second, which is enough that we could go prograde. Let's just keep doing this. Let's just keep rotating our orbit around this hinge. And Silver Sky redeemed Boozinate. All right, we'll drink to not crashing this thing. That landing was fantastic, though, I gotta say. That was a precision landing if I've ever seen one. Thank you, Silver Sky. But since we're also adding energy to our orbit, we're still pushing the opposite end, which is our apoapsis, higher and higher. But that's all right. We're just having some fun at this point. Testing the limits of the spacecraft, and I think we've found them. Alright, our orbit is prograde now. Means it's in the same direction as the rotation of Minmus. Alright, and we are out of fuel, but we're not going to crash. That's the important thing. We're not going to crash. We will need to send some fuel up here, though. Let's see. How are we on the science? No more since the last time. What are we coming up on in our alarms? We're coming up on our MOHO launch window and then the crash of our current MOHO probe. Which gives us some time. Let's actually go to our space station. Let's zoom in on Kerbal. And am I not showing space stations? I am showing space stations. So where is Arcadia Station? All right, let's do this. That's better. Okay. So if we go to Arcadia Station, we can deorbit our fuel tanks, which since we don't really use the oxidizer anymore, since we are switching to basically all nuclear propulsion at this point, there's no reason not to. We can ditch these big fuel tanks, which means we need more. But yeah, this liquid fuel can stay. That has some liquid fuel. So says, I'm very bored. So Dan, that is also bear and pig. What wisdom can you bestow upon me? Make sure that you've got a wide landing base if you're using robot arms. That's all I can say. That's what I just learned. All right, who have we got on board here that we still need to return to the surface? I think we still have Google Kerman aboard. Let's check our crew manifest here. Yeah, there's Google Kerman, recently rescued. And there's the Warden Kerman. Okay, they both need to come home. Are they aboard here already? Nope. Bo and Issa are here. Okay. There's a little bit of liquid fuel left on this thing, but it's not enough to justify leaving this up here. I think I want this all to go. And we also need to send more monopropellant up. So it is time to do some refueling of our space station. Let's transfer some crew. Let's see, there it is. Transfer crew. Bo and Issa are viewer redeems. So let's put them aboard. Assign them some quarters. And then we can use this spacecraft here to deorbit both of these nearly empty fuel tanks. All right, Issa. You can room with Bo. All right, now we have to find where Google and the Warden are. So Tuglet has given us Google Kerman, Elon Musk, and Kefri Bezos. Let's see. They are aboard the rescue craft, aren't they? There's Google. Okay, so transfer crew. Let's put you here. And then there is the Warden right there. So transfer crew, the Warden Kerman, transfer to here, and this will complete these contracts. Is there anyone else that needs to go home? I don't think there is. So we're just going to send this with 2. All right, so if we undock right here, and switch to this craft. All right. And we'll back up and get some safe distance from the station. All right, we're in orbit mode, so let's point retrograde. And if we burn in that direction, we will slow down and our orbit will dip into the atmosphere. Using lots of monopropellant to move these because they are heavy. This one is full of oxidizer, but this one is completely empty. All right, we're pointing retrograde. Excuse me. I'm going to hit the cough button for just a moment. There we go, that's better. Okay, so now let's go ahead and fire up the engines. Let's do this during the daytime though. Let's time warp so that we can actually watch this happen. Here comes dawn. Make sure we're not pointed at the station. There's the station right up above us. All right, we'll slow down just a little bit for dawn. Watch the sunrise from space. There it is. All right, now we need to adjust again to point retrograde. All right, and we're going to ignite the engines. Here we go. And we have this extra fuel if we need it. While we're watching our periapsis drop, as soon as it's below 70 kilometers, we will be scraping the atmosphere at our lowest point. Periapsis is at 100 kilometers. Down to 80 kilometers. And there it is below the edge of the atmosphere. So if we look at the map view, we can see the predicted path that we will take. We're going to aim for about 32 kilometers. That seems to be working pretty well for us. Right there. All right, so now what we need to do is turn sideways and jettison these giant fuel tanks so that they don't hit us on the way down. So if we point this way, then we can undock. And those are still correcting themselves automatically. That's cool. All right, let's pull back a little bit too. Get some space. We also need to jettison the service module here. So let's decouple that. And let's point retrograde. And we can turn off our maneuvering thrusters and our stability assist because aerodynamics will take over. Actually, we need to wait until we're actually in the atmosphere to do that. And look at that view. I think some people have given the features of the planet some names, but I don't know what they are. I should probably look that up and learn some of those. That could be fun. All right, it looks like we're not dropping as fast as I thought, so we might actually come down. No, we're going to come down during the day. Good. So we are going as I thought. There's where we're entering the atmosphere. And it's going to pull us out of time warp as soon as we are entering the atmosphere, which is right now. All right, so let's point retrograde. There we go. And now we can turn off stability assist, and the aerodynamics should take care of everything from here on out. And we'll go into physics warp mode until we start getting the reentry effects. And this is indicating that it is not safe to deploy our parachutes right now. We weren't going to, but it's still good to know. All right, we are getting some of the re-entry effects. Let's slow the game down. And let's have some fun with the camera tools. We haven't done this in a while on the reentry, so let's do auto flyby, target self, and let's just there's that sonic boom. We got 2 sonic booms. There's Minmus up there. And we are slowing down. There's our plasma trail. Google Kerman and the Warden Kerman are finally coming home. They had to wait a long time for their rescue. Oh, and look at that fire trail. That's from our fuel tanks, I think. Yeah, we've got crew transported debris. That is our service module there, and those are the fuel tanks. That is super cool. Let's get a screenshot of that. The Kerbals on the surface are getting quite a show right now. Yeah, this thing is definitely aerodynamically stable. That's part of the reason for the gumdrop shape. That's harder to say than I expected. I'm talking like I'm drunk, but I'm definitely not. I'm just tired. That was a tongue twister that I was not expecting it to be. That is the point of the gumdrop shape. Part of the point. I love that camera mod. A little too much, probably. All right, we're through the plasma blackout, I think. Yep. So now we can speed the game up again. And when we get down to about 2 kilometers above the surface, we will deploy the parachutes. Coming down over the grasslands, that is ideal. Well, that or the ocean are ideal. All right. Indications are that it is safe to deploy parachutes. And there they go. And at 1 kilometer, they will fully deploy. There they go. Full deployment of all 3 parachutes. And so now we can speed the game up again until we get to the surface. And I don't think these trees have colliders on them, so although it does look like we're going in between trees, so that's good. All right, let's slow back down to real time here. Hooray! Safe return for Google Kerman and the Warden Kerman. All right, let's recover this vessel. All right, I'm going to take another drink of water here, too. I think we're actually going to go ahead and end it right there because we have 10 minutes left, but I don't think that we have anything left that will be less than 10 minutes to do. So let's... oh, we got some science from that as well. Very cool. We have 350 science. But yeah, let's take a look real quick at the tech tree, see what is coming up. We do have enough to get any of these 3, but we're saving up. So we don't care enough about this avionics hub, reaction wheel, and bigger monopropellant tanks. We don't care enough about the shielded docking port, cool though it is, and the inflatable airlock. We do have some interest in these probe cores, but not quite as much as if we save up for 550 science, we will get the gravioli detector science experiment. Gravioli is my favorite term from this game for gravity particles. Some more surface science, a bigger scanning arm, and most importantly, we will get the Convertitron and Convertitron Junior. We'll get the Drill-O-Matic and the Drill-O-Matic Junior. So we have our mining arms and our refineries so that we can send probes to land on various planets and moons and refine them for fuel. So if we send something like this to Minmus, we can drill and refine for fuel right there, and it will make missions like the one that we just did a ton easier. And if we send these things out to all of the various different outer planets and inner ones, then that will facilitate our grand tour mission. We won't have to carry all the fuel for the entire mission all at once. We can refuel while we're out and flying around the space station? No, flying around space. Yeah, I think I do need to end. My brain is fried. I think it was that landing and that emergency takeoff that did it. Yeah, the ship was about to fall over, so we needed to take off immediately. Also coming up, we've got some of these other structural parts, and this bigger fairing is very interesting to me, as well as, where is it? Some bigger fuel tanks. But there's something else that we were looking for. Ion propulsion is going to be good. That is even more efficient and lower thrust than the nuclear engine. Such low thrust that you only want to use it on very tiny probes. So, but still very useful. Let's see. Advanced unmanned tech, large probes, experimental science, specialized electrics, automation. Oh, this is a big one. The RA100 relay antenna. That's the biggest antenna in the game. So we want to unlock that in the not too distant future so that we can send out a much upgraded deep space network. That will help us out a lot. And where is it? There's one more thing I thought that I'm waiting for. But maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, maybe not. We also haven't done anything with planes yet, so we should probably do that in the not too distant future. But yeah, rather than ramble on anymore, I think we're going to go ahead and call it right there. Thank you everyone for coming by and sticking through the network instability right there in the middle. That was frustrating. But yeah, let's see who is streaming right now that we can raid. There's some Minecrafters online. Let's see if there's anyone streaming any space games though. I'm gonna pull up my phone and see if there's a longer list. Let's see. Well, no space games right now, but Vation Krypton is streaming Minecraft, and we haven't been over there in a while. I'm not going to be able to stay, but let's go ahead and raid him. Yeah, see you later, Silver Sky. Thanks for dropping by. And let's see, Vation Krypton. There we go. So here is the raid message. If you're subscribed, copy the whole thing. Otherwise, just copy the part in between where it says Dan Bear 4 Totem. And yeah, we'll see you on Monday for some Minecraft. And on Wednesday, I haven't decided what we're going to do for whatever Wednesday next, but it will be fun. And next week, I will be out of town, so we won't have a Kerbal stream next week. But we'll do a makeup stream, so that'll be fine. And yeah, I'm going to start the raid now, and I will see you guys later. Just got to wait out the timer since I didn't click on it earlier. All right, goodbye!